Alright, what is up guys? CodeBro29 is back with a brand new video. In today's video we're going to be doing part 3 to our Royale High series. This is going to be a great part, so I hope you're ready for it. And today we're doing the ball. Next week I plan to do an avatar editor, alright? So, you're not going to want to miss either of those. And yeah, let's jump right on into it. One thing though, I apologize for that my last video was like a few weeks ago. It's been a little while since I've been able to post, but thank you for hanging in there, and thank you for 4,000 subscribers at the time I'm recording this. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is go into the toolbox, right? And you're going to hit library, because I have another kit for you guys, and this is Royale High Part 3. Oh, you can go and drag that into your Royale High game, and it should appear somewhere. Oh, it's not there for me. Alright, go ahead and drag it into your game, and voila, here's your Royale High Part 3. Doesn't look like much, but we're going to be working with it. So, go ahead and ungroup this kit. And then there are 3 different things: ungroup in Starter GUI, Workspace, and Replicated Storage. So we can ungroup this one in Starter GUI. Okay, not much to do there. This is an invite to the ball. We can ungroup this in Workspace, alright, this has the ball in it, and we can ungroup this in Replicated Storage. So we have quite a few remote events in here that we're going to be working with later. Okay, so here we have our ball, right? It's not the greatest graphics, but if you would like, you can fix that. I'm also going to drag it like kind of out here so that, you know, the players can see it, but it's not so obvious and it's not in the playing section because it's kind of not the best looking. You don't want your players to just be like right at this, but you know, it's going to work. So this is this little lobby that they spawn into, and your camera is going to be fixed right here, and you're going to watch each of the players walk in and then walk over here, and then it'll return to to regular default, and they can start dancing over here and whatever they want to do. And yeah, so let's get right into the making of this. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, there it is. So I'm going to scroll on back over to our base plate. You can also hit base plate, or go to base plate in the Explorer and hit F to focus on it, and then you can do the same with the ball. Instead of having to scroll, you can just hit F to focus. So let's go ahead and insert a script into server script service, like that. And let's get rid of this print hello world. And for the script, we can just name this ball script, okay? This is what's going to be handling all the ball things that we need. And then here we can say local minutes equals, and I'm going to set this to 5, and this is how long between each ball, okay? So you can change that right there. The neat thing about having variables is because, there we go, because now you can just literally come up here and change this to whatever number you want, and you don't have to edit the actual script, okay? So I'm going to set mine to 5, though. And now I'm going to say while true, true do, and then we can say wait, hold on one second, wait 10, so this is going to wait a few seconds just to make sure that there are players in the game, and we can say local players equals game.players colon get players, okay, and we can say if number of players is less than or less than 1, or actually less than or equal to 1. So there has to be at least, then return end. So there has to be at least 2 players, right? Or you can get rid of this equal and just say less than 1. So if there's at least 1 player in the game, then we can start all this stuff right here, alright? So we can say for I, comma, v in pairs players do. So we're going to loop through all the players now that we've made sure there is at least 1 player in here. And we can just say local coming equals instance.new bool value. So we're creating this new value, and we're naming it by saying coming.name equals to coming. Okay, and we can say coming.parent equals to v. So we're putting this little tag inside of the player, and we can say coming.value equals false. So this is how we're going to keep track of what players are coming instead of putting them in a table. That's what I'm going to do, okay? Now we can say game.replicatedStorage.invite.fire all client. Fire all clients like that, okay? So this is going to fire this remote event that's included in the kit that is called invite, and in our ball invite frame, we already have this local script that deals with all that, okay? So in our ball script, let's go ahead and go back, and we can say wait 15, and we can say game.replicatedStorage.timeup fire all clients. So if they haven't responded within 15 seconds, we're gonna fire this remote event called timeup, and it's basically gonna not let them choose to go to the ball anymore. And yeah, it'll just stop. So if they're like AFK, then their thing won't be there when they get back. It'll just be over. So we can say, you'll get it in a minute, or later on. Local players equals to game.players::get players. So we're redefining what players is. We actually don't even need the local anymore. We're just redefining what players is because new players may have joined, okay? Before this, but after this, I guess. So just in case any players happen to join, we want to include them. So we can say for I, comma, let's say player this time, in pairs players do, so we're looping through all the players, and we can say if player.coming, actually first, let's just make sure that they have a value called coming, so maybe they joined a little late, so if player : find first child coming, then we can just say game.replicatedStorage.firstCam : fire client. So this is a camera. And then we can say player. So this is just going to basically it's going to we're gonna work on scripting this later, but it's going to set their camera to be facing toward the ball. Okay. Perfect. And then now we can just say we can drop a line there, and what we're going to say is if player.character, then, so if their character is in the game, otherwise maybe they just died and they're respawning or something like that, we can say player.character.humanoid root part.cframe equals game.workspace.ball, so make sure the ball model is inside of the workspace, .spawn.cframe. Okay, so we're spawning them basically inside of the ball because I have inserted this little part inside of the ball called spawn, which is where they are going to spawn when they're ready to come to the ball. Okay, so now we can get out of this for loop. We have spawned everyone in, and we're going to say wait 3. And we're going to go ahead and redefine players again by saying players equals game.players: get players. And then let's drop a couple lines, and we can say for I, comma, player in pairs, players do, okay? And then also, I forgot to do something up here. Oh, not I, comma, v player, just I, comma, player. And then I forgot to do something up here. Let's go ahead and indent this real quick. All this inside of the if player : find first child coming. We can say if player.coming.value equals to true then, alright? And then we can make sure to put an end here and add a then. And equals, sorry. So if player.coming.value equals true then, and make sure to add another end for this if statement, alright? So now in this loop, we're going to do the same thing basically, but so we can actually just copy this whole line of code right here, or all these lines of code, and paste it here, and just get rid of what's inside of this second if statement, alright? So now we can just say game.replicatedStorage.resetCam : fire client player, alright? So that will we're going to script that to reset their camera soon, alright? So that they can dance and all that. So we can say wait, and then we're just going to say ball length, okay? And we haven't defined this as a variable yet, so let's go ahead and go up here, and let's just go ahead and say local ball length equals 2, and then we can set this to a number of seconds. I'm going to set mine to 60 seconds. That's how long the ball is going to take, alright? And then they're going to spawn again. And we can say local, or let's just redefine players again. Players equals game.players, get players. Like that. And we can say for I, comma, first I want to make sure, yeah, okay. For I, comma, v in pairs, players do, and we can say if v colon find first child coming, then we can just say if v dot coming dot value is equal to equals true, then so if they were coming, then we want to go ahead and say v colon load character. So after the ball is done, we're going to reload their character, and we can drop a line outside of this if statement and say v dot coming colon destroy. And then out here, we can just say wait 60 times minutes, and that's how long it is going to be between each round. I'm going to go ahead and set the ball length to just 20 seconds just for the purposes of the tutorial, but you go ahead and do that on your own. So that will control everything we need for the ball, but now we want to manipulate the camera. Not manipulate in a bad way, but we want to take control of the camera, basically, and make them look over here, alright, when the people are entering, and then set their camera back to normal. So to do that, I'm going to close out this right here, and we can just insert a local script into starter GUI. And this local script is going to handle the camera manipulation and all that we're doing, okay? So we can just get rid of this print hello world, and we can say game.replicatedStorage.firstCam.onClientEvent connect function. So when we, in the ball script, we fired this remote event, right? And we can say game.workspace.camera, nope, not child added, .camera, .camera type equals scriptable. So whenever we want to change the camera, we have to set it to scriptable first. And we can say game.workspace.camera.cframe, okay, equals cframe.new. And we're going to put two values here, okay? We're going to say game.workspace.ball.campart.position, comma, game.workspace.ball walk to position. Okay, so we're basically here saying we're going to be looking in the direction of where the players are going to walk to, because those are two different parts that I put inside of the ball for you guys in that kit. We can say local controls local controls local controls equals require game::get service players, and then we can say local player player scripts, okay, player module :get controls, okay. So we're getting there. This is like a module script inside of the player that allows us to make sure that they can, or to stop moving, or sorry, to not allow them to move each other. Okay. And then let me make sure that we did this. I have a feeling that we actually didn't do this. Yeah, we skipped a part on accident in our ball script. So let's head back into there. And where we have wait 3 players equals game.players :get players, and then we have fire client of the first cam. Okay, so that's up here, first cam. Oh wait, our code's all. I messed up with the code a little bit. Yeah, so I messed up a little bit. I accidentally skipped a part. So right here, where we have wait 3 and then players equals players, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and add another wait 3 right here, because we want to actually move the players now, okay? So we can say local players equals game.players: get players. So we're redefining players, and then we don't even need the local. Okay, and we can say for I, comma, player in pairs, players do, and then we can again just copy this because this is all this from inside of the for loop. Copy it and paste it, and then just get rid of what's inside the second if statement. And then in here we can say game.replicatedStorage.firstCam. Actually, we already fired the first cam, so we don't need to do that again. We can just say game.replicate. Sorry, actually, all we need to do is say if workspace colon find first child child player dot name. Then, so if we find the player's character, we can say print. If you want, we can say print moving players. I don't need to do that though. And we can say game dot replicated storage dot move player colon fire client player, and then we can say wait 3. Okay. So that should fix that. So we're basically just firing another remote event that's going to move the player and make them walk into the ball, okay? And now let's head back into our local script, and where we have our controls, let's go ahead and disable them. So we can say controls colon disable. This will not allow the player to move on their own. Now let's drop outside of this remote event. We can say game.replicatedStorage.movePlayer.onClientEvent colon connect function. So what we just scripted right now fired the remote event. Fired the client of the remote event. Now we're going to script that. And we can say local player equals game.players.localPlayer. And then we can say player.character.humanoid colon move to. And then we're going to say game.workspace.ball.walk2.position. Okay, so and then we can say wait 5. So we're making the player move to this part that's also in the ball called walk to. Let me go ahead and show you this one real quick. There's this walk to part right here. That's right here. So we're going to make the player come from right here. The camera's right here, so it's looking at the door. The players don't see this right here, obviously. And the player's going to start right here. They're not seeing themselves here, but they're just going to walk in, freeze for a second, and then they're going to walk to second part, which is over here. So they're going to get out of the way. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. So we can then say, we can just copy this entire line right here, paste it, and we can say walk to second dot position. So the second one right here. Then let's drop a couple more lines. We have just a tiny bit left to go. Game.replicatedStorage.resetCam.onClientEvent colon connect function. So here we're just going to check to, we're just going to reset their camera, and we can say game.workspace.camera.cameraType is equal to custom. Okay, and then here we can just say local controls equals require. Actually, we can just copy this whole line of code right here. This whole line where we have local controls equals require, all that stuff. Drop one more line and say controls colon enable, and that'll allow them to move again, and that is it. So I do have a little error actually, and I'm not sure exactly why this happened, but I didn't even get this coming tag, so I'm going to put this wait 10 to something like wait 20. That'll give me some more time to spawn in. Oh, I know why. We have one more script to do, and it's a remote handling script. I forgot completely about that, so let's insert one more script into server script service. And we're going to call this remote handling. So this is what's actually going to allow them to go to the ball, okay? And so for this, we're going to say game.replicatedStorage.answerYes.onServerEvent colon connect function player. So this is a remote event that I have in the kit, and when they click yes, it fires that client, okay? So we can say local, we can just say if player colon find first child coming, then, and we can say player dot coming dot value equals to true. Alright, so here I accidentally wrote find first child instead of first child. Let's test that one more time. And yeah, so like I said, you may want to change it so that they cannot fly in the ball. That's probably a good idea. Or at least they don't come in flying, because that could really mess things up. But yeah, we can change our roleplay name and our bio. Let me hit yes, because I would like to attend. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's see. Coming is set to true. Perfect. Scripting master. That's alright. So now we're looking at the door. Hopefully I'll head on in. Yep, here I come. I pause, and then I continue walking. And since there's nobody else, we can just hang out and /e-dance. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Make sure to test it with your friends. See all that you can do with that. But yeah, it's a really cool feature to add to your Royale High game. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to subscribe. And there's the end of the ball right there. And yeah, so if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. And I'm automatically jumping for some reason. Yeah, that's probably something with the fly. So like I said, if you would like to disable it when they're not in the ball, that would be a smart thing to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully next week I'll be back with part 4, finishing up this series. Alright, see you guys next time.